Hey everyone, my name is Ajit and welcome to video number 4 of our Python tutorial series for beginners. In this video, we're going to be going over string indexing and slicing. So in previous videos, we've gone over what strings are, which are an ordered sequence of characters, and we've gone over some things that we could do with strings, for example, printing. But now we're going to be looking at indexing and slicing of strings. So basically, indexing of a string means we could return one item from the string. So for example, if we have a word that's 5 letters long, we can return the fourth letter of that word if it's in a string. And an index too large will result in an error. Like for example, with the 5 letter word, if I wanted to get the seventh letter, there is no seventh letter, so it'll just be an error. And now for slicing, it actually returns a new list or tuple, so we can get multiple characters, not just one. And out of range indexes are not a problem, so because it will actually be handled pretty easily. And you'll see what I mean when we start doing some examples. So let's get into those examples. So let's create a variable and let's just call it word. So let's get a variable and we should call it word because we're going to have a word in it. And the word we're going to use is, how about, we could use a simple word, but let's try a relatively long one so we can see it. So let's try coding. So let's use the word coding. So what we could do now is so if I decided that I wanted only the first letter of the string, I can do something called an index. So what an index is it will look like this: word of 0. And you might be entirely confused what this means. But basically, this number in here is an index. And what an index is just the position of a character in this object. So for example, this right here, the letter C, is at index 0. And when you go with indexes, it starts at 0, it doesn't start at 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, but it'll actually go only up to index 5 because we start at 0. So the C will be index 0, O will be 1, D will be 2, I will be 3, N will be 4, and G will be 5. So if I wanted to get only this letter C, I do word of 0, and this will give me the first character or the first object in a data structure, and it'll get me to that. So let's try printing word of 0. So printing word of 0. And if we run that, what will we get? We will get the letter C, just C, because we've indexed it and we've only took the first letter. What if I wanted to get the letter D? Try pausing the video and figuring out what we should do to get the letter D. So if you figured it out, we're going to use 2, because this will be the second index. This index 2 will actually be the third character. So 0, 1, 2, and we will get the letter D. There we go. Okay, so now we could do some other things with this. So what if we want to get all of the characters after a certain index? So for example, what if we just want to print out ing of this word coding? What we could do is we can find the index that we want to start at, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, because we want to start at I and end at G. So now we go 3 and we do this colon. And now what the colon does, it tells us that it's going to start at index 3 and it's going to go all the way to the end of the string. So we're going to get ing. So if we print word of 3 and colon, we're going to get ing because we start at index 3 and go all the way to the end. So now what if we want to go start somewhere and go up to a certain index? So now we're going to do the reverse thing. Let's say we're going to put the colon in front and then we're going to put 3. So what do you think this will return? And if you said CODI, you're actually wrong. It's only going to return COD, because this value right here, 3, it's telling us that it's going to go up to 3 but not include 3. So it's just going to be from 0, 1, 2. So we're going to get the value COD. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now how we want to get something in between instead of going from the end to something or from something to the end. So let's try the index from 1 to, let's say, 4. So this will get 0, 1, and then 1, 2, 3. And it'll stop at 4. So it won't include 4, but it'll go up to 4. So this is going from index 1 up to index 4. So this will actually return ODI because it's starting from index 1 and going up to index 4. And what if we want to find the last number of this string? But you might just say, oh yeah, we could just do word of the index 5 because that will get us G. But what if we didn't know how many characters that the string had? What if this word was an extremely long word and we didn't know how many characters it had, how long it was, we didn't know the word, and we just wanted to get the last character? So you might be thinking, what should we do? What we could actually do is we could type -1, the index of -1. And what this does, it'll give us G, because -1 starts actually from the back. So when you put -1, it'll give us the last character. And let's try it. -2. What will that return? N. So now -2 will go to the second index from the right. So -1 starts all the way at the right. Then we go to -2, it starts going to the left, and you keep going to the left like that. Okay. So now let's try. So now another cool thing we can do is we can return characters in a sequence, like every second character, or every third character, or every fourth character. So now let's try like a bigger word so we can actually see it. How about photosynthesis? Oops, spelled that wrong. Okay, photosynthesis. So now what I could do is I could actually do. So what this means is it's going to start from the beginning. It'll go all the way to the end, and the number after the 2 colons is what we want to go by. So this will print every second character in this string, starting from the beginning to the end. So let's print it. So as you can see, we start from the first then we go for every second character to the end. So P, then O, then O, then Y, then T, then E, then I. So that's exactly what we got. POOYTI. And we can increase this number. It doesn't only have to be 2. Let's try 3. So this will give us P to T to Y to H to I. And there we go. P to T to Y to H to I. There we go. And now we can also do this for our own index. So let's say I want to start from index 2 to index 9, and then I want to go by 2s. So we're going to start at index 2, which is this one right here. And then I'm going to go up to index 9. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to go from O to H, and we're going to get every second character in between that range. So we're going to get OOYT because O, we're going to start at O, then Y, then T, and we're going to continue like that. So we can try it with a bigger range. So let's try 2 to 12, and then we're going to go with 3. So we're going to start at 2, which is O, then we're going to go to 12, so we're going to start at 3, so we'll get O, then we're going to get S, then we're going to get T, and then we're going to get S. And it's not going to give us any more because there's no more to go after this third jump because there's only 2 characters left, so we can't go more, so it's just going to stop there, even if there's more characters after that. And yeah, so that's how you index and slice strings. So that about wraps up this video. And in this video, we went over what strings, string indexing, and string slicing, and I gave you examples of it. And yeah, so in the next video, we're going to be continuing on with our data objects and structure, and we're going to be exploring more things such as lists and dictionaries, and we're going to see how those work. So thanks for watching. I hope you really learned something in this video. If you didn't, you might learn something from our future videos. So make sure to subscribe to this channel and keep an eye out for them. Thanks for watching.